We're on the cusp of a new month, and December is just around the corner. We still have availability at a few properties if Jamaica is what you're hoping to do for Christmas 2021. Sandals Ochi Beach Resort and Spa definitely must be on the top of your list, as we do have availability for 3 nights, even in the Bamboo Beach Grove. Sandals Ocherius, doing it right, Christmas time 2021. We have added yachting to our portfolio here at Share Fantastic Travels and Resorts Limited. So, you know what to do with a private group, an intimate gathering, even 8 persons. We can get you on a 100-foot beauty sailing into the Lesser Antilles, and there is nothing little about this big experience. So pull together your nearest and dearest friends and let us get you sailing off into the sunset. Share Fantastic Travels and Resorts Limited, yachting your way throughout the Caribbean and in the Med. We got you covered. The Sweet Life Travel Podcast is back. We took a little break, regrouped, got things back together, and we're so happy for our first day back in the saddle to be introducing cruising. And there's no better story than the story that was just lived. And so today we're going to go on a little adventure, a little journey, as we reach back into the very recent past. And I will be talking with my buddy and colleague, Paula Hill, who just got off the Celebrity Apex. This is going to be so good. We're going to have so much fun. Hi, Paula. How are you?
Hi, Sharon. Thank you so much for inviting me to talk with you today. I'm so happy to hear that your podcast is back. And yes, I just got off the Celebrity Apex and it was amazing. Such a beautiful, brand new ship. She is sparkling clean. And the design on the ship was really unlike anything I'd ever seen before. The beauty and the luxury was just incredible. But part of what made the sailing so fantastic was that the ship, and most ships on the seas right now, are sailing at a reduced capacity. So basically, they have full staff on board, but only 40, 50, or 60% capacity as far as the customers are concerned. So getting a table at your restaurant was no problem. Getting an elevator, I never had to wait more than a minute for an elevator. So it was really nice. It was like having the ship almost to yourself. It was pretty special.
Wow, Paula, that is just fascinating. And you know, I have been living vicariously through all the videos and the photographs that have been posted while the team was on board, and chatting up with a few people too who could squeeze a few minutes in. And of course, the excitement, it was evident. I felt it all the way over here. But there is something that I want us to start out by talking about a bit, since my clients are still very wary about sailing, and I've not had the benefit of going to the seas since this whole pandemic started. So talk us a little bit through the whole process of getting the COVID test done. Was there any trepidation in your mind going into that? And of course, we know it's a fully vaccinated sailing. So yeah, let us just start that way and work our way forward.
That is an excellent question, and something that we talked a lot about on the ship with the other IAs and with the executives. Personally, I felt very safe COVID-wise being on the ship. Honestly, in a way, it's the safest place on earth because everyone on staff has been vaccinated. All of the guests have been vaccinated. There weren't any children aboard. I think I saw one infant, one baby who hadn't been vaccinated, but everyone else on board had been vaccinated. Plus, everyone had taken a COVID test 48 hours before boarding. So everyone had a negative COVID test. And the easiest way for anybody in the world to take the COVID test is to order the Abbott Benax Now box. And it's mailed to you. You take the test at home. It's set up kind of like a telemedicine where you call in the company. They walk you through the test. You get the results in 15 minutes. You don't have to have medical insurance. You get a pack of 2 of these boxes for $69.99. And I'm going to send you a photo of this and a link so you can put it in your show notes. But that is the way most of the other travel advisors on this trip got their COVID tests. They just did the Abbott Benax Now home COVID test. A lot of people went to their local pharmacy and paid to get a test there. Since we flew into the port a day early, I felt like I had plenty of time. That's what I did. I went to my local urgent care center and got a test there, waited for 15 minutes. So it was not that big of a deal, not as big of a deal as I thought it would be. It was actually quite easier, and I felt very safe once on board knowing everyone else had done the same.
Paula, that is what I've been hearing from everyone. I've been following the various vloggers on YouTube. As you know, we also have an active YouTube channel with Charity Tours, and the Share Fantastic Travels and Resorts Limited. And having followed my fellow YouTubers who took to the seas, the common thread of conversation has been that there is the feeling that they are safer on board than they feel on land. And that's very, very comforting. And of course, I have blocked several group spaces on several vessels going into 2022, 2023 even. And the conversation has resumed and it's going well. So yeah, it's wonderful hearing that, of course, from our industry experts or suppliers, yourself, that people are happy being back on board. And you can see the joy. I got that from all of the videos. And of course, there was a tinge of jealousy, but of course, I knew y'all were there representing those of us who couldn't make it. And so we just kind of lived every step, every breath there with you. And with that being said, I'm happy too that you have sent me the link, because we'll certainly be sharing it. As a matter of fact, I was just working on a cruise that sails on the 13th of November for one of our clients. And so as I got to completing that bit of follow-up just to see what areas I need to touch on with them, I was happy to hear how good Celebrity was for you, because this also will be a sailing on the Celebrity Reflection.
Well, I am very jealous of your clients that get to go on the Celebrity Reflection. We saw her in port and she just looked beautiful, ready and willing to have all your clients on board. Celebrity is such an elegant cruise line, and really a wonderful cruise line for foodies, for people who love beauty and good art. I always feel so relaxed on a Celebrity cruise. There's tons to do and see. I'm sure they're going to have a great time.
I'm particularly excited about the Reflection. I remember in 2012, December, we were getting ready to do our conference at sea, and we had the inaugural of the Celebrity Reflection. It was just a day on, because we were going off on the New Amsterdam the following day. But it was really, really nice that we got the opportunity to spend that afternoon on board. And the high point of my time on the Reflection was the introduction of a wine dispensary. I'm sure you had that on the Apex, and if you experience it, I'd love if you could talk a little bit more about it. But it was first at sea, where instead of having to purchase an entire bottle of wine, you could now go to the dispensary and you could get your preferred bottle of wine poured directly by glass. So that was exciting. But Celebrity on a whole is a brand that is understated, and they over deliver. I have seen that to be true.
One evening, a friend of mine and I had dinner at the steakhouse while on the Apex, and he ordered a really nice bottle of wine, and we didn't finish it. We only had a couple of glasses, and it was really wonderful the way Celebrity said, "No problem, we're going to recork this. It'll be available for you tomorrow night to finish or any other time that you wanted on the ship." So I'm sure he enjoyed the rest of that wine the next day. But it was nice how they follow you, around with the wine. They had a lot of sommeliers on board that would help you choose your wines. Of course, now they have the always included benefit, which is great because you get the free beverage package, gratuities, Wi-Fi, and some other benefits. I believe shore excursion credit. So you can just drink whatever you want, whenever you want on the ship. It's so cool. I really like that because sometimes I like to try new drinks, and if I don't like them, I don't feel like I have to finish it because it was included in the price. Pretty cool.
I'm really glad you said that about, the wine being recorked and being offered for you again. And I've seen that on board other ships. And I guess that is a standard procedure. But more importantly, with what has happened with this pandemic, I could clearly see where the dispensers might be dispelled with just for this season. And who knows, maybe the design of the Apex was not bringing that forward. But nevertheless, that's all right. But, I want to mix it up a little bit, Paula. And I want us to talk a little bit about you and your love for travel. When did that start? How did that start? Tell me everything. I just want to know it all. We all have a travel story.
Well, you're very kind to ask. I don't have much of a travel history. In fact, I got into the travel business just so I could travel. Growing up rather poor here in Texas, my family didn't travel much. And, unfortunately, in the early years of our marriage, there just wasn't the time or the money to travel. So when I had the opportunity to join this industry and become a vacation planner, I thought, well, this is just great. I'll learn about travel, learn the best places to go and how to get there, and get to travel a lot. And it's happened. Since becoming a travel advisor, I have gone more places and seen more things, met more people, had great experiences. So I'm loving this. This is the life. And it's so much fun to help people plan vacations and make their dreams come true. It's really a blessing and just a whole lot of fun, as you know.
You have been such a solid travel advisor. One would never know that you didn't have one of those legacies of perhaps gallivanting through Paris and Rome and sipping espresso on the cafes of the world. But that's okay, because we all have different stories. We all get in at different points, but we share one common thread, one common theme, the fact that getting into this industry, we have to sample what we sell. And I love to tell my clients and friends that I offer what I've experienced. It's good for me to be able to experience the product so I can speak from a position of knowledge and experience. And of course, I trust my suppliers. And so, really, that is what we get. And we came in at varying points, but we were able to meet somewhere in the middle and have had experiences that literally transform. And I'm with you on the point that, many of us would not either have the money or the time or both in our earlier years to travel, but this industry has provided so much in such short spaces of time that you can truly become an expert in your discipline. And so for us, and it radiates through how we do what we do, we're able to offer from a position of love, from a position of really enjoying what we're doing. And like I like to tell my clients, I want to create memories for you that last a lifetime. And it also brings them back to us again and again and again. So, yeah.
Yeah, there's something magical about travel. The opportunity to see life through someone else's eyes and see how other people live. It's truly a blessing. Last month, I had the opportunity to go to the Riviera Maya in Mexico. I stayed in Playa del Carmen, and I went down there specifically so that I could visit different resorts. And I visited 7 all inclusive resorts while I was there. And I hired a driver, and this driver was just terrific. We had great conversations about COVID and their views on vaccination. And after we were finished, I asked him to give me a tour of the city of Playa del Carmen. And I didn't want to go to the tourist areas. I said, take me, where do people live? And it was just great to drive around, just casually without an agenda and see the churches and the schools and the colleges and the parks, where people live their lives, just even, where they go grocery shopping. I loved every bit of it. And it was nice to dispel some of the myths that you hear about different places. You really have to go and see things yourself just to see what's true and what's not.
Oh my goodness, it's so amazing that you should mention Rivera Maya, Playa del Carmen area, because that was my last farm prior to the pandemic hitting. And I tell you, I fell in love from the moment we were heading in. It wasn't my first time to Mexico, but it was my first time to the beachy side. And I fell in love. We were in Cancun, we were doing the Playa Farm, and then we headed on over from Cancun proper to Playa del Carmen. And it was absolutely amazing. And I agree, traveling really opens you up to so many wonderful things. And, even if I'm on a cruise, I like the idea of going grocery shopping. I like the idea of grabbing a trolley, you say a cart in our British brought up way, we still hang on to some colloquial terms. So we say trolley, we grab a trolley and we just push it through the grocery store and see what life is like in other places, how people live. And as you do normal things like this, you realize that there's more that makes us similar than the things that divide us. And so, yeah, you have just taken me on a nice journey down memory lane. And I've always said that Playa del Carmen is one of those places that I certainly would go and live for 3 to 6 months, because it's the epicenter of activity and life and work. And you can work from home just the way we do, most of us, and you can still have a great time in that wonderful Mexican city. So yeah, so as we bring this closer to a close, I just want you to go ahead and share with me any other little tidbits that come to mind from your sailing on the Apex. And of course, you can share with us, our listeners, and so your credentials, your business, what is your specialty, and any presence that you might have on social media. So take it away. I'll leave it up to you.
I just want to say I'm so happy to hear that your clients are starting to travel again, and mine too. And having gone on 2 trips recently, I can tell you that the people that work on cruise ships, they've had a really hard time this last year and a half. And the people that live and work in tourist towns and work in the tourism industry, they're just so happy to see tourists again. And it's really a good feeling to travel right now, to know that that you as a tourist, you're helping to get the world economy going again. You're contributing to their livelihoods, and it just feels really good to get out and be a part of it all again. So it's been awesome talking with you. I've really enjoyed it, and I appreciate this opportunity. Of course, I can be found on Facebook at Paula Hill Travel. And then also my website is hilltoptravel.info. So if there's ever anything I can do for you, Sharon, let me know. And goodbye. Have a great weekend. Bye bye.
It's been an absolute pleasure spending this time with you, Paula, and I have really grown to value even remote connections that we're able to do. This pandemic has taught me how to bring closer those who may be geographically distant and still feeling that warmth. So, yeah, very happy that we were able to share this time together. And I am sure that sometime in the not too distant future, we will be able to do more than give each other a virtual hug. We'll be able to do it in person, and we'll be able to take to the seas or be on land, sharing some good times together. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Sweet Life Travel Podcast. I am your girl Sheri, and you know that right here with us at Share Fantastic Travels and Resorts Limited, we're all about the fun. Ciao for now.